Welcome back to SB Nation. The San Francisco 49ers were lauded by many as the league's top team after two dominant performances to start the NFL season, but Alex Smith and company were cut down to size in Minneapolis on Sunday as the Vikings outplayed the Niners in all three phases en route to a 24-13 win. The result came as a surprise to both sides. Last season, the 49ers didn't allow a rushing touchdown until Week 16 and started off 2012 the same way, not giving up a rushing touchdown through 2 weeks. But in Week 3, the stout Niners defense gave up their first rushing score, a 23-yard scramble up the middle by quarterback Christian Ponder that put the Vikings up 14-3. Ponder had a solid game, throwing for 2 more scores, both to tight end Kyle Rudolph. Impressively, each of the Vikings' 3 touchdowns came on drives of 80-plus yards. Minnesota never trailed in the game and was helped by a solid defensive unit that kept Smith and the 49ers in check and forced 3 fourth-quarter turnovers. A clutch performance given the ineptitude of the replacement referees, who awarded not 1 but 2 challenges to the Niners after they were out of timeouts. Let's go to Niners Nation and Daily Norseman for their takes on what this game means for both teams going forward.
Well, in case anybody was wondering, you cannot in fact expect teams to just roll over and die before you actually play the game. 49ers with what can only be described as a pretty embarrassing effort against the Minnesota Vikings. I won't even say that the 49ers lost the game. I think the Minnesota Vikings were completely prepared for the game. They game planned exactly against the 49ers' weaknesses. We saw that on the repeated swing passes that the 49ers linebackers and secondary could not get to. The linebackers struggled on that play, and the Vikings were able to eat them up all day long.
This game today, I think, showed that the Vikings are not going to be intimidated by the big name teams in the National Football League. The Niners are one of the more physical teams out in the NFL today, but the Vikings played just as physical a game as they did this afternoon. And for being one of the youngest teams in the National Football League, they didn't seem to be in awe of the 49ers in any way. And I think this is a big step for this team going forward in their development under Leslie Frazier. And hopefully they can continue this forward next week when they take on the Detroit Lions at Ford Field.
Thank you, gentlemen. Next week, the 2-1 Vikings head to Detroit for their first NFC North test, while the Niners travel to New Jersey for a matchup against the up-and-down Jets. So give us your thoughts. Is Christian Ponder maturing before our eyes, or do the Vikings catch the Niners on an off day? And what does San Francisco's loss mean in the suddenly tough NFC West? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to SB Nation for more on the NFL.